everybody watching the Haunt channel. And today what I have a video on is a 3-in-1 unboxing. And that is the Lowe's Reaper Band. So I got these 3 in stores. And yeah, these ones are really cool. I really love the Bluetooth feature, which really sells it for me. I do think that they're pretty pricey for their retail. So, but you know, sometimes you have to pull the trigger on stuff. But anyways, I got 3 of the members here. There is the guitar one right here, the lead singer, and then the drummer. Now, the only one that's technically not new this year is the drummer. They had the guitar one last year. However, the guitar was different, and it had blue eyes instead of red. And then this guy's completely new. And there also is a keyboard player, which is online only, and he's the most expensive for I think like $300. I don't really care for that one as much as I do for these 3. So I'm just satisfied with these 3. And I'm really glad to have them. So they all go together. So, you know, why not just do all 3 together? It's going to be kind of hard to get it all in one frame here, because this guy has a pretty long box. But it's actually not really, well, for the boxes for all these guys, they're really not that big, to be honest. They are kind of wide a little bit, but you know, they're pretty good size. It's not like they're overly sized, so you don't have to deal with some of the big boxes that Spirit usually has. But anyways, I already pre-cut the tape on this, so let's go ahead and jump right in so we can save some time here, because like I said, we got 3 of these guys. And yeah, so here it's going to be hard to kind of show it, but I think this is the leg for the tombstone leg, just so it gives it form, because this guy does stand on the tombstone, which I think is a neat feature. Everything else is pretty much twist tied in, so let's see if I can pull this all out. Alright, so I got them pulled out. It's kind of annoying with that long box, but yeah, let's go through all the pieces. So this is just used as space for some reason, I guess, to keep it tighter. So it's not really anything too special, just an empty box you don't even need. Gotta get this out of the way. Alright, so it's all pretty much twist tied in, so I gotta undo those. But here you can see his actual body. His poles, adapter, yeah, and there's the tombstone down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and untwist tie this, and then we can go in an overview on all the parts he has. Alright, so we got all the parts out of the box. There were a lot of twist ties, so kind of doing deal with that, but we got it over with. But the setup on this guy doesn't seem too bad. So let's go over the parts. So here we have is his body with his hands, and he has the microphone in there. Then, you know, the jaw's a little bit unhinged, so when he rocks his head, it kind of opens up, which is neat. Acts like his mouth is moving without having a motor in there. You have his bass, a couple of poles here. You got his waist bracket, his pole with the module, and then this is the part that also connects to the body and the tombstone. And then this is also interesting, because normally Tekky props, because yeah, all these guys are made by Tekky. I mean, any company really, for example, puts the adapter in a box, but in this case, it was just has this twist tie on there that was connected to these poles, so that's a little different. And then he also has this leg form that will go onto this foot when it is put on. So, you know, it gives it the form to stick out, which is, you know, a neat feature. It's not just like both feet on the ground. It gives you a little extra something, and of course that lights up. So yeah, let's go ahead and set this guy up. Alright, so I got the singer set up. I'll go review each of them once I get them all set up. But I almost forgot to mention that on the top here taped is the instructions, and it also comes with some batteries. It's pretty nice. And then you have the removal key for the pins there, and then there's also another one plus more batteries on this side, another set of instructions. So that's pretty neat. So now I'm going to set up the guitar player, so let's get him out of the box. His box is a bit smaller than the singer's, so alright. And just like the other guy, he is also all twist tied in, so All right, so here he is, still twist tied in. This one does not have anything stuck to the box. But yeah, let's dig into him now. I will, just like the other guy, I will untwist tie him, and then we'll go through all the parts he has. All right, so this one seems even more of a simple setup, but let's go through the parts. So here's his body. We got the guitar here, and then the top part, you just snap these in. And I heard that once you snap them in together, the guitar itself, it can't come apart. So that's something to keep in mind, but it's gonna have to happen. And then we got the pulls here. And then, yeah, it does have the same thing as the singer, just it wasn't taped and only has one set instead of two. Here's the module. He's got a waist bracket right there, and then here's the bass. So now I'll put him together. All right, so guitar player is all set up. His setup was definitely a lot simpler than this guy. His setup wasn't bad, but this guy is a lot easier, I'd say. So now I'm gonna unbox the drummer, and then we'll be able to review all three of them together. All right, and now it's time for the drummer. So let's see. I know he probably has quite a bit to him as well. All right, and there's the adapter with the instructions on there. Soon, maybe. You know, this one doesn't seem like it has the batteries, at least in that part. So, yep. Here's the top drum. Just get that out. I don't know if this one's really twist tied in. There's another empty box. Make sure it's all packed neatly, so that really gives you extra room. Then this one, yep, another empty box. Yeah, this one's gonna come out a lot easier than the other two, because he doesn't really seem that twisted in from what I can tell. There's one arm there, and the other. Just try to get his body out right there, and then a lot of other stuff is in this big drum. Yep, more empty boxes. So yeah, let me try to pull all this out, and then I'll lay out all the parts. All right, so the last one we have is the drummer, and I got all of his parts out. So we have his body here, we have his legs, which is just like stuffing in a net essentially, but it gives him the leg form when he sits down. Poles there, bass, adapter, the big drum, and then the small one that goes on top. Both of his arms, his module, and then these were also in the drum, just like the other ones I assumed. Yep, he does come with batteries and the key for the pins. So yeah, let's go ahead and set them up, and then we'll have the whole band reunited. All right, so the drummer is up, which means all of them are up. And I think I'll do a demo of them first. And I got them all hooked up together, so we'll see that. I'm gonna do their, I'm not gonna use the Bluetooth mode, but I am gonna do the I Love Halloween song that they come with, and you'll see how they all go together. So let me just flick the switch, and then they should all be able to go off, and they'll be synchronized. Let's see it.
I love Halloween. Put another tree to the tree back, baby. I love Halloween. Come on, it's your time to dance with me. You better fear the reaper. I saw you standing there in the graveyard scene. Think it must have been around Halloween. And I knew you'd soon be mine until the end of time. I could tell it wouldn't be long till you were with me, yeah, me, singing, I love Halloween. Put another tree to the tree bag, baby. I love Halloween. Come on, it's your time to dance with me.
All right, so that was them in action on the normal on mode. They do have a demo mode, which you would often see them on in the Lowe's stores, where it just like they sing for a little bit, and then it tells you about the Bluetooth feature. But on the normal on mode, they sing their whole I Love Halloween song, which is of course a parody of I Love Rock and Roll. And then they have the Bluetooth mode, of course, which, you know, during their activation, they literally just do the exact same thing the whole time for the most part, which I will get into that when I get more into the review in a second. But before I do that, I do want to talk about how you connect each of them together. So basically, each one of them has this black and white cable here that's connected to their control boxes when you unbox them. Each one of them comes with it. And then if you look at their module, there's different modes. You will see one called leader. So you choose one of these to be the leader, which in this case, I have him as leader, which makes sense because he's the lead singer. So what you do with that cable is there's two spots that say input and output. So you take his, where it says output, you put the cord in there, and then you follow the cord to the other side that says input, and then you put it into the next Reaper that in the input slot. So how it goes for me is I have him as the leader, and then there's other modes you'll see called follower. So these two are the followers, so it goes from him to him to him. So output to input, and then so while you have this guy's cord and his input, you will have his output also plugged in. So this guy will have two plugged in, and then the input from that second cable will go into him. So they all go in a sequence. And then, of course, if you had other band members like the keyboard player or another guitar reaper, you can, of course, connect them the same exact way. So, and then you can choose any of these to be leader or follower. He doesn't have to be a leader, but it makes sense to me because he is the lead singer after all. But yeah, you could have like a whole lineup of these guys if you really wanted to, and have them all play at once with those cables. So, but for me, I just wanted these three. So, yeah. That's the gist of how they work with all that, and it's pretty cool how you can actually sequence them together so they actually do perform in a band. But anyways, I will go into review of each of them now, starting with him, because I'd say he's my favorite out of all of them. Now, what he does, as you saw, his eyes light up blue, his head bobs up and down, and his jaw is actually on a hinge. See, it doesn't actually have a motor. So when his head goes down, the jaw kind of like dangles and acts like the mouth is moving without having a motor in there. He has a microphone here, and the arm is a little bit posable. You can probably, it'd be good if you can do it like this. I haven't really messed with it too much because I just unboxed these guys. But there might be a way to get it close to his mouth because right now it's just hanging down there. And then I like this feature because instead of just like having the robe cover the base like this guy, he actually uses something extra, which is this tombstone he stands on. And that fades in and out with a red light in each of those letters, which I think that's a neat touch. So it's something different than just basic standing with the rope covering it. And of course he has a skeleton foot standing here, and then the robe will cover the rest down here, act like he has another foot, but you can't see it. And in addition on him is he has this red cloth compared to the other Reapers that just have the black cloak. And then of course he has this white long hair here. And then this also kind of goes backward and forward, this arm. The one thing I will say though, I wish this finger did not stick out. I wish it was like kind of folded in with these ones and then those top two fingers out, so he actually has the more rock out hand sign, because right now he's just putting up like a love sign and it's supposed to be a rock sign. So kind of wish they put that other finger away, but well, I mean, it's not bad, but it would look better if it was just like this. But anyways, yeah. He's definitely my favorite, though. And he's just about 7 feet tall with his hand going all the way up there. So, yeah, just under... He's almost 7 foot tall, but yeah. And then we have the guitarist, which he's just about the same height-wise here. He just has the arm going up there. But he is still pretty big himself. And he does the least amount of all of them, because all he does is his head bobs, you know, just like his, but his eyes light up red and that's it. Unfortunately, and I really wish they did this, the guitar hand does not strum the guitar, unfortunately, which I really wish they did that, because the magic power props, like, you know, banjo skeletons, they do that, but this thing doesn't. Of course, it probably raised the price, but it would be so much better if it strummed the guitar, because it just doesn't look that good. So I really wish that they added that good hand movement there, because it just kind of looks dumb, to be honest. But yeah. And then this is the new model, because last year's his eyes light up blue. This time it's red, and then his guitar is also a new design. So yeah, and that's just kind of snap in there, and then there's a little thing you snap lock in there basically, and then it holds. That's how the guitar holds, and you just snap this in, which I'm pretty sure once you connect the top part to the guitar, you cannot take it out. So, but it has to get done if you want to set them up, of course. So they probably could have made something where you push it out like with a button or something, but it just stays in there. But it is what it is, you know. He has this little extra like creepy cloth, I guess, on his face there. So yeah, that's basically him. You know, he's most simple. And then we have the drummer here, which is quite a bit about him. So obviously he sits down because drummers do. So it's acting like he sits down, but it's just like poles stacked up to give him the illusion he's sitting down. And he has the stuffed leg part that you go in there. Acts like he actually has legs and gives him form. Now, one neat thing of him that compared to the others is if you can take this hood off if you'd like, and he has this red mohawk, which these ones, of course, he has the white hair, but the hood is glued. And then this guy has no hair and his hood is glued. But this one you can actually take it off to change the look a little bit. He has a little earring right there, and his eyes light up yellow. And then he is a little bit different because these guys just play the same movement the whole time. But this one's a little bit different because a little bit he'll just move this arm for a little bit, and then he'll move this arm for a little bit, and then he like goes back and forth with these two together, so for a little bit, and then he just repeats that cycle the whole time. And another thing is the drum is a separate piece. It obviously comes with him, of course, but see, there's no attachment there, so just kind of its own thing. You put the top drum on there, and then it all lights up pretty cool. So, and it has this little detail here. It says "Don't fear the Reapers," which is pretty neat. But you could always probably change that if you wanted to. So yeah, it comes with the item, but you know, it doesn't actually attach. You just have to connect wires to make it light up to him. But yeah. Another thing to mention about the drums is how this goes in. It just kind of slides in here, and then you use this knob to tighten it. But I'm pretty sure it's a little bit adjustable, so you can actually raise this with it, so it's a little bit higher to act like he's actually hitting the drums. So I'm definitely going to do that when I have him in my display this year. And of course he has these bones as his drumsticks. And then, yeah, his eyes light up yellow, if I didn't say that. They each have their sensors in their noses, as you can see. Pretty cool. Skulls have a little bit of detail, so it's not just like plain. And yeah, and then they have the basic settings, like I probably mentioned before. They all are made by Tekky, and this guy's a new version. But the drummer, I'm pretty sure, is the exact same difference as last year. Last year was the first time these two came out, but it was only them. Keyboard Player Online only is new. And then last year's Guitar Reaper is a little bit different, and then this guy's completely new. So yeah, and these guys are really popular, so can't wait to use them in my display. And I'm gonna have a Halloween playlist on them. The only thing I'll advise though, and I'm definitely gonna do this, so when you use the Bluetooth mode, they only react to sound. So if you played a video with straight up silence, they will not go off. They will only go off if you play sound. And it doesn't count if you have a video playing that has sound, but you have your device turned down. They will still go off, sensing that the video has sound. But if there's parts in the song that don't have any like noise for the most part, like even if it's a little faint, they'll go off. But if it's completely silenced, they will not go off until the sound actually hits on the device, and then they'll start doing their activation. And they do their same movement the whole time. So unfortunately, they don't really follow up with the songs you play, which, I mean, I get it. It's retail, and it'd be kind of a lot of programming to do that. Because if you play a song with just like no drums at first, this guy will still move his arms, and then this guy will act like he's singing, like his head. Well, the head bobbing, you know, it can just act like he's head bobbing, even though his mouth is a little bit unhinged to act like he's moving. But it's not the whole time, so you can't really program it, unfortunately. I mean, you could program it if you wanted to. You just have to, that's up on you if you want to spend the money and time. It'd be cool, but it takes work, of course. But yeah, so when I play my Halloween playlist on Halloween, I will use the Bluetooth feature, of course. But I will also play like silenced audio, so they have breaks, because like I said, if it's a video pure silence, they won't go off. And it just gives them rest from the motors, because I obviously don't want them to burn out. So I want to get as much use out of them as possible. Another thing is, he doesn't have a motor for this, but his head is like on a little bit of a spring here, so you can do like that. But it's not on a motor, so it doesn't actually have that movement compared to these guys where they actually have a motor to make their heads bob. But he doesn't really need it, because he's just a drummer. But yeah. And I prefer the hooded look, to be honest, because it kind of does just fit better with these guys. But it's cool you have a different preference there. Of course, they all have the basics, so sound and motion activated. I went through all the different modes they have, and you know, they come with batteries, which I show, which is pretty neat. And then of course they take 6-volt adapters, which are included. And if I can just get back here, I will actually try to show the controls a little bit. So bear with me, I just need to move this cloth. But they're all basically like the same. This is the lead singer's thing. And you can also add an external speaker to make them louder. That's the input and output thing that I mentioned. So like, that's where you put the output and then his input and whatnot. So, you know, try me button, of course. See, there's the follower modes. That's the regular on to make them play their I Love Halloween song. Demo mode, which is for the stores. And then of course, Bluetooth leader. So you only have to put one of them on Bluetooth. The other two can be on follower. Your volume control, battery compartment, all the basics. So yeah, that's all I think I really have to say about them. They're really cool. They are a bit pricey, and I know Lowe stuff will be going on sale any day now, especially with displays. But retail for this guy is $250. Same with him, but he's $230. They're all kind of a bit steep for price, but definitely try to get them as low as you can. Unfortunately, Lowe's doesn't have much coupons, but and then the keyboard player is like $300 online only. So yeah, that's something. Lowe's prices are pretty steep this year, so yeah, it does give you a bit of money, but I don't know, these guys are just so cool. So yeah. Anyways, I think I pretty much went over all the basics on them and what I needed to say. Let's give you one overview. They're all good sizes and they're incredible, and the Bluetooth mode is great because that's the main reason why I got these guys. If they just played their normal I Love Halloween song, it just wouldn't sell it for me. I love the Bluetooth mode, so that's what really sells it to me. So yeah, and they're band members, so it does make sense that they can play different songs and whatnot. So really cool, and these guys will be great for my display, and I can't wait to use them. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure that's all I gotta really say about them. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I recommend these guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.